Meta stock just released their Q1 2022 earnings, sending the stock up 15.5%. I own shares of Meta, and boy, am I happy with these earning results. Their numbers came in a little bit worse than expected, but their user growth was substantial. So stay tuned and I'll go over these results in depth. Welcome back to another video. My name is Adam, and on this channel I talk about finances, my stock portfolio, as well as the moves that I'm making in the market related to finances, cryptocurrencies, etc. And even if you're looking year to date, Meta stock has been absolutely beaten down. By the way, they changed their name from Facebook to Meta. Ticker symbol is now, I think it's still FB or maybe Meta. I don't think it's Meta, it's still FB. But anyways, back with their previous quarterly results, so Q4 of 2021, their stock dropped by 26%. Year to date, it's down 48%. I believe it's like one of the worst performers in the S&P. Maybe now Netflix is, but this stock has been going nowhere but down over the past year. And I've invested on the dip. I've invested quite heavily into Facebook, probably about 10% of my overall portfolio value. And if you want a quick snapshot of what's happening, this is what it is, but we'll go more in depth into Meta's earnings presentation using their slides and look at why the stock is popping. And it's not necessarily because of revenue, because they missed on that, and they also missed on guidance, on the revenue guidance for Q2. However, they beat on the number of users that they have. Maybe they're potentially adding newer, younger users, which is huge. That's one of the main concerns, is that Facebook is losing its younger population, specifically in the teens, early to late teens, to platforms like TikTok, Snapchat. So Meta's earnings per share for the first quarter topped analyst estimates. But revenue came in below expectations, as did the company's forecast for the second quarter. And again, stock is absolutely getting destroyed year to date, down 48%. So yeah, shares of Meta, they're jumping by 15% after hours. We're liking this move. Earnings per share were $2.72 versus $2.56 expected. They're also buying back a large number of their shares with share repurchases, which is basically like a dividend. Revenue came in just shy of expectation, close to 28 billion versus 28.2 expected. Daily active users came in at 1.96 billion versus 1.95 expected. So that's really good to see there. Monthly active users came in at 2.94 billion versus 2.97 expected, so fell short on that. Average revenue per user, $9.54 versus $9.50 expected. So it looks like they're being able to weather the Apple privacy changes quite well, probably because they already have so much data on hand that it doesn't, like, just because Apple doesn't allow tracking on their devices, that, maybe doesn't really mean much for Facebook. So again, Meta updated investors for the first time since a brutal first quarter, which sent the stock down 26%. Daily active users bounced back a bit from 1.93 to 1.96 billion. So yeah, this is, I think, a pretty good rally here. If you're looking at the move, like it's an understandable rally. This stock is just absolutely beaten down, like price to earnings ratio of 12. So it's valued like a value company, not a growth company at all. When you look at the price to earnings ratio, if you look at a bank, their price to earnings ratios are higher. Canadian banks, I think, even, it's just ridiculous here. It's almost as if this stock is it's valued at like it's going to fail, and like stagnate. But I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous. So even though, I guess earnings weren't amazing, but as we'll see here, they beat expectations, I guess. So again, it wasn't a killer Q1 2022 report, but it wasn't terrible. I guess Q1 is always relatively down in the dumps. Here you look at Q1 2021. They had a pretty good quarter, but their Q4 2020 was much better. I wonder why that is, why there's always like a Q1 dip. Even Q1 2020 was like there was a dip here and it just kept going up. It just kept going up for each quarter. And if anyone knows why, please leave down below in the comments why Q1 always seems to be one of the down months or quarters for Facebook. So $26 billion in advertising revenue, broken down by country. Of course, they did most in US and Canada. Revenue by user geography. Total was 27, close to 28 billion, like we saw. Advertising revenue, of course, makes up 26, close to 27 billion. So only like 900 million is other revenue, probably through their Reality Labs stuff. So yeah, advertising, of course, makes up most. Other 215. I wonder what's included in other, like, I don't know, subscription-based stuff. Family of apps revenue, 27.2 billion. And Reality Labs, so virtual reality segment, like their Oculus headsets, 695 million. Family of apps operating income, 11.4 billion. And so although they made 695 million in revenue, they lost 2.9 billion in the Reality Labs. So they're investing heavily. Obviously, because of this, their operating margins are quite down from 37 to 31%. But their advertising business, it's just an absolute cash cow. So they're allowed to spend a lot of money on this growth segment here, and hopefully in the future be profitable because they're earning like so much money, 11 billion in family of apps operating income. So yeah, total income 8.5 billion. I forgot what the expectation was, but again, quite low relative to the others. And here was like in Q4 2020. Operating margin of 46%. That's, you go all the way down to 31%. Looks like they're heavily investing here in their Reality Lab segment. But that's why they changed their name to Meta, is for the play on the metaverse. So you look at their expenses here, cost of revenue, 22%. I mean, nothing big here. Research and development, you look at a pretty big spike, 28%. So it looks like they're spending a lot of money on research and development. And marketing and sales and general and admin, I guess, relatively flat and in line with previous, but 28% in research and development is the most by far from any other quarter that we see on this chart. Effective tax rate of 16%, I guess in line with where they were in 2020, lower from Q4 2021. And so provision for income tax is 1.4 billion. So I guess their net income was like 7.5 billion. Yeah, 7.5 billion. Yeah, 7.5 billion net income Q1 2022. Earnings per share 2.72, slightly above Q3 of 2020. And again, much lower than $3.67. But again, yet the stock is up after hours. I mean, that's just because I guess it's up 16% now because they increased their number of users. Capital expenditures much higher. Obviously, investing in their metaverse. So look at this. It stayed flat from 2.81 billion family daily active people. Daily active people. So 2.81 to 2.82 to then 2.87. So that's a pretty significant increase there. It's like a 5 million increase in users. So I'm impressed with that there. Like it's I can't complain about that, and that's probably what's sending the stock up a lot higher. Monthly active people, 3.59 to 3.64 billion people, and family average revenue per person, $7.72. Daily active users was up from 1.9 to 1.96 billion, and we can see by the breakdown, they're expanding in Asia Pacific region rest of the world as well. And yeah, so I guess pretty damn good. I always find this really impressive here. $9.54 per user worldwide. You look at US and Canada, $48 every single quarter. They're getting $48. Last quarter, it was $60.57 per person. To me, that's just ridiculous. Like, that is impressive that they're able to get $48.29 worth of ad revenue, basically, from you every time you use Instagram and Facebook, etc. And I mean, look how low it is, from $48 to $3.14 for the rest of the world. Asia Pacific, $4.47. Europe, $15. I just find this fascinating here, this North America segment. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to keep owning my shares. I've been owning them since the pandemic. I love Facebook. I love their vision. Not a lot of people like Mr. Zuck, but I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for the vision. Let me know what you think of this video. I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Check out the links down below in the description. Subscribe as always, like my videos, and let me know if you have any comments and questions or concerns down below in the comments. Cheers, guys. Peace out. Love you all.